Thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. More fallout and political fighting over the new book about President Trump called Fire and Fury. Back from a weekend retreat at Camp David, the president and his inner circle are taking on charges made by Steve Bannon and others. And now Bannon has apologized. CBN's Jenna Browder has more on this story now from Washington.
President Trump and his inner circle spent the weekend pushing back against negative allegations made in the controversial new book, Fire and Fury. In the book, former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon uses the words treasonous and unpatriotic to describe a 2016 meeting between Donald Trump Jr. and other campaign officials with a Russian lawyer promising dirt on Hillary Clinton. Bannon apologized in a statement to the news website Axios Sunday. Donald Trump Jr. is both a patriot and a good man. My support is also unwavering for the president and his agenda. The president blames Bannon for giving White House access to Wolf.
And I guess Sloppy Steve brought him into the White House quite a bit, and it was one of those things. That's why Sloppy Steve is now looking for a job.
Wolf also questions the mental stability of Trump and claims Bannon and others brought up the 25th Amendment, which can remove a president from office.
It's not unreasonable to say this is 25th Amendment kind of stuff.
Trump pushed back on Twitter. Actually, throughout my life, my two greatest assets have been mental stability and being, really smart. And Trump officials say it's ridiculous to question his fitness for office.
The president said he is a stable genius. Is he?
I'm with the president nearly every day. We engage in complex conversations about some of the most weighty matters facing the world.
All of this as Trump met with Republican congressional leaders at Camp David to talk about their agenda for the upcoming year, which includes getting a budget passed, strengthening the military, infrastructure, a border wall, and immigration. Trump is urging Democrats to support immigration measures in exchange for the dealing with the end of the temporary amnesty for Dreamers and funding for that border wall. The book's charges may be the headlines for the short term, but long term, the president and congressional leaders are working on their agenda and looking ahead to this year's midterm elections. In Washington, Jenna Browder, CBN News.
The blast of Arctic cold that is freezing portions of the East Coast is on its way out. By the week's end, temperatures could climb into the 50s. The cold that came with the winter storm Grayson has broken records from Maine to West Virginia. Here at CBN, Operation Blessing's U.S. disaster relief team spent the weekend helping people all across Hampton Roads who were in dire situations to dig out so they could get to life-sustaining treatments. Hundreds of people needed dialysis, chemo, or were nurses who needed a clear path to care for those patients with open wounds. Operation Blessing even sent out a snowplow to make a clear path for the ambulances. In all, the Operation Blessing Emergency Center received more than 700 calls over the weekend alone. Israel is taking steps against the BDS movement by banning several activist groups. Sunday, they released a list that identifies 20 BDS groups that will no longer be allowed to enter the country. BDS is a grassroots development which calls for boycotts, divestments, and sanctions against Israel. Last year, Israel enacted a law that would ban any activist who issues a public call for boycotting the Jewish state. Some of the groups are located in countries like the United States, France, and South Africa. Palestinians reacted angrily when President Trump threatened to cut off U.S. aid to the Palestinian Authority last week. As Chris Mitchell reports now from Jerusalem, the face-off puts any future negotiations between Israelis and Palestinians in doubt, as the Senate could soon take up a measure which would cut back U.S. aid because American taxpayer dollars go to convicted terrorists and their families.
In a pair of tweets, President Trump said, "We pay the Palestinians hundreds of millions of dollars a year and get no appreciation or respect. They don't even want to negotiate a long overdue peace treaty with Israel." He added, "With the Palestinians no longer willing to talk peace, why should we make any of these massive future payments to them?"
I think the president has basically said that he doesn't want to give any additional funding or stop funding until the Palestinians are agreeing to come back to the negotiation table. We're trying to move for a peace process, but if that doesn't happen, the president's not going to continue to fund that situation.
U.S. aid accounts for 40% of the budget for the UN's Relief and Work Agency, better known as UNRWA. It provides millions of dollars to Palestinians in the Gaza Strip and West Bank. Many Israeli officials have lobbied the U.S. to stop payment because UNRWA is influenced by Hamas. Some Palestinian officials call the threat blackmail.
I would say that Palestinian rights are not for sale, and we will not succumb to blackmail. There are imperatives and requirements for peace, and unilaterally, President Trump has destroyed them.
The war of words between the Palestinian Authority and President Trump marked one more disagreement after Trump recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital and decided to move the U.S. Embassy there. After these latest tweets, Israeli officials had a different take from the Palestinians.
President Trump is absolutely right. It is impossible to wait and wait and wait for so many years for the Palestinians to go forward and renew the negotiation. They left the room in April 14, and for 4 years almost, they are reluctant to negotiate with Israel, and they should not be given so much money from the American taxpayer.
Some of that U.S. taxpayer money goes to a policy dubbed Pay to Slay, where the PA pays convicted terrorists and their families monthly salaries. The U.S. Congress is close to passing the Taylor Force Act, which would cut off Palestinian aid money unless the practice is stopped. Taylor Force was a U.S. citizen who died in Israel during a terrorist attack. A successful vote in the Senate would send the legislation to the president for his signature. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he supports President Trump all the way in his criticism of the United Nations Relief Workers Agency. At his weekly cabinet meeting, Netanyahu said the UN body actually perpetuates the Palestinian refugee problem, and he suggested a solution to the United States.
I offered a simple suggestion that the funds to UNRWA will be gradually transferred to support the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, with clear criteria to support real refugee status and not with fictitious refugee status as it happens today under UNRWA. And this position was also presented to the U.S.
UNRWA was established 70 years ago just for Palestinian refugees instead of allowing the UN body that cares for every other refugee in the world to deal with them. Netanyahu said it creates a situation where even the great-grandchildren of refugees are receiving benefits as if they were refugees as well. Still ahead, the key to boosting your overall health, it's in your stomach. See how a diet that nurtures your gut also nurtures your brain. The father of modern medicine once said, all disease begins in the gut. And today, more than 2,000 years later, that rings true. Lori Johnson shows us how some of our latest medical breakthroughs focus on what's happening in your intestines.
Bacteria, also known as bugs or germs. We assume they're all bad, right? Not so fast. Scientists recently discovered much, if not most, of the bacteria in our body is good for us. In fact, a key to good health depends on having enough of the right kind.
We all have trillions of bacteria living in our intestines, hundreds of different species, all performing different functions. Scientists call it our gut flora.
Neurologist David Perlmutter is one of many physicians warning against disrupting this fragile ecosystem.
We all carry good and bad bugs, if you will, and it's the imbalance that seems to be the biggest trigger for our illnesses.
Dr. Vincent Pedre agrees, adding a healthy gut protects us from everything from the common cold to cancer.
So the connection between the gut and the immune system is quite significant because 80% of our immune system is located all along the boundary of the gut.
Unfortunately, when it comes to good gut bacteria, many of us are sorely lacking.
We're seeing a epidemic of disruption of the microbiome and the gut bacteria worldwide. And the reason for that is because of the such widespread use and prescribing of antibiotics.
After all, antibiotics kill bacteria, bad and good.
You've got to understand that taking an antibiotic will change the complexity of your gut bacteria and the diversity of the gut bacteria for the rest of your life. Just one course of antibiotics.
Processed food can also be a culprit.
There's way too much sugar in our diet, and sugar breeds bad organisms. And when I say sugar, I'm also talking about artificial sweeteners, because they've been shown that artificial sweeteners cause a dysbiosis and promote the growth of not very favorable bacteria that can cause inflammation and disease.
We've got to welcome fat back to the table, but only the good fats, not the modified fats. So be very liberal with your use of extra virgin olive oil and coconut oil, grass-fed meat if you can find it, wild fish, nuts and seeds.
Even babies delivered by cesarean section can miss out on getting enough good bacteria.
We gain our first bacteria at the moment of birth. When we are born, we pass through the birth canal. The baby is inoculated with bacteria that are transferred from mother to baby. And those are the seeds for the gut bacteria that will last a lifetime.
So while our lifestyle choices can really do a number on our intestinal flora, the good news is we can make our gut healthy again and keep it that way with probiotics and prebiotics.
Probiotics equal good bacteria. You can find these microscopic organisms in supplements as well as in cultured and fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, yogurt, kefir, and kombucha. Your good bacteria live off prebiotics. Just like good soil, they create a nurturing environment so your bacteria can thrive. You can get prebiotics in supplement form as well as in foods like asparagus, onion, leeks, garlic, and dandelion greens.
When people start increasing their prebiotic fiber, the changes in their health the changes are remarkable. Weight loss, immediate. Improvement of mood by adding prebiotic fiber to your diet. Who knew? And this is revolutionary new information.
Not only mood, Perlmutter says even serious brain disorders like ADHD, autism, even Alzheimer's can improve by increasing good bacteria because they make neurotransmitters and vitamins while reducing inflammation.
Well, I lost my dad just last year to Alzheimer's disease, so I really get it. And I want to stand up and be heard that it's great that we try to develop a cure for this disease, but we know right now as we have this discussion that it is preventable. And when we eat a diet that nurtures the gut, it will nurture the brain.
And not just the brain, scientists are now identifying specific strains of good bacteria that treat all kinds of problems, from skin rashes to the flu. That means a targeted probiotic could take the place of a prescribed drug.
I think we're just on the tip of the iceberg of learning how to harness that potential and use it for therapeutic interventions.
So if you want to boost your health, doctors say improve your gut flora. That means avoiding processed foods, even antibacterial cleansers and antibiotics when advisable. Then add good bacteria with probiotics and boost them with prebiotics, available in supplements, certain foods, or both. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Still ahead, Carl Lentz pastors some of the biggest names in the entertainment world, and he's in Studio 5 talking about his mission. The 75th Annual Golden Globe Awards honored the best in movies and television, but the Sunday show was more of an evening that focused on empowering women in this period of exposing sexual abuse. Many of the stars wore black in honor of what's been called the Time's Up movement. Oprah Winfrey highlighted that movement in her acceptance speech for the Cecil B. DeMille Award. It was a rallying cry for the future.
A new day is on the horizon. Wearing black in solidarity is one step. I think that what Time's Up is doing with the Legal Defense Fund is a major step.
Oprah Winfrey also made history as the first Black woman to receive the Cecil B. DeMille Award. His church is in the heart of Manhattan, and he's got a passion to make a worldwide impact. Author and Hillsong, New York City pastor Carl Lentz joined us in Studio 5 to talk ministering to the famous and the faceless and what led him to write his new book, Own the Moment.
If you want to know today, you want to gauge your spirituality, ask yourself, how well do you love people? That's how you gauge whether God is doing something in your life. How do you love those that cannot love you back? How do you love those that slander you when you're not looking? How do you treat those people that can never do anything for you?
Your book, your very first book, is called Own the Moment, and you begin the book by saying you are actually the person writing the book. Why?
It's not so much taking credit. It's more like letting people know there's no spin, there's no narrative. This isn't someone, trying to water down. It's cool because you couldn't blame anybody. Normally, if you're in the media, anything, you can always say it was edited, which probably is, or I was misquoted. But I was trying to say, I really wrote this. So if you want to take issue with me, do that. If you want to believe this, believe it. But this is my heart on paper, and it's an honor to be able to do that. And so I took it as seriously as I could.
As someone who never actually thought of himself as an author, why write this book?
A lot of what drove me to do it is everything from funerals to friends struggling to watching culture continually get a platform and a voice and going, you know what, we have one. We can add to this. And it might not reach everybody, but man, it's gonna reach somebody. And I just felt like, what a better time right now in culture when it's so confusing to try to write something that's clear. And I can do that. I can't write something that's, I know what I'm good at, and it's trying to get people to the baseline of the gospel quickly. And this book is basically a little bit of a glimpse into behind the curtain, if you will, about our church, which is, there's nothing back there. This is what it is. It's like, if you thought we were special, we're not. If you think I'm special, which a lot of people don't, I'm not. And I like to reaffirm that with books like moments like that.
Chapter 5 in your book talks about turning garbage into gold. What do you mean?
We should be the best recycling machines on earth, Christians. I think I just don't miss a beat with that. Like what someone else sees as garbage, I'm like, I will find a win in that. That's what Jesus did. That's what he's done with us. Like legitimately, without the grace of God, all of us, garbage. Every good work, every good thought, nothing, it's garbage. But God, literally cut through time and eternity to bring out the gold in us, which is Jesus. And to, reflect that has got to be our goal. And so if people who are watching this show and with your anointing and your spirit to invade the darkest places, I think you just need a couple people who get you, to pray with you, to support you. And then, let everybody else question and talk, whatever. Like, life is so short that I've already wasted too much time, whether it's making bad decisions or even caring too much about other people's opinions. I just refuse to live like that. So I would say to anybody that's in this space watching this, it's for a reason. Like, there's a call, go get that thing. We are running out of time. We need people to step up. God's looking for reasons to do ridiculous things.
So you interview on the 700 Club, Good Morning America, The Breakfast Club. All of these shows have very different audiences. How are you attracting them?
I mean, some of these places love Justin, and they know if I go on the show, they can put Justin's name in the thing, which is clickbait, which is smart marketing for them. For us, I don't care what the reason is. Like, we're gonna go find a way to talk about the gospel. So some are legitimately interested in why people come to church in New York, and then some are like, we don't really care. We want to be able to use, a celebrity tie-in. But I'm cool with whatever, because I know we got one message, we got one song on this radio station, and we will play that thing until God says different. So I think people are interested in why God is moving in New York, and we're a part of that.
So what's the difference in you preaching to and discipling such celebrities?
Yeah, I think with famous people, I understand the intrigue, because if I was on the other seat, I would ask those questions. And I always tell people the beauty of the gospel is that we all have different symptoms, but our sickness is the same, which is a need for Jesus. So Justin is super famous, but he still deals with the same stuff you and I deal with. It's different because of his platform, but that's why I wrote this book, is to let people know, like, I don't care where you are, what you do, you desperately need Jesus. So that's one thing I've learned from the faceless to the famous. The gospel's so good that it is no respecter of platform, social status, money, and that's why I always feel so confident in it. So if you're the president of the United States, we're gonna preach the same way. If you are the president of your little cubicle box cardboard that you live in Bed-Stuy in Brooklyn, you still get the same right to hear the gospel. And that's what I love about it.
From the faceless to the famous, you still need Jesus, and you need to own the moment. Thank you, Carl Lentz. Stay with us. We'll be right back. It is time now for your Monday Motivation. As we begin this week, I'd like to pass along this thought and a reminder. What God has called you to is bigger than you. In your heart, you may feel unqualified, but God qualifies all who He calls, and that includes you. With that word, make this a marvelous Monday and a wonderful rest of the week. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Remember, you can always find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. And of course, we'd love to hear what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that by emailing newswatch@cbn.com. And of course, you can always reach out and touch us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hope you'll join us again right here next time. Once again, be sure to make this a marvelous Monday and a wonderful week. We'll see you right back here come tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody, and God bless.